back to Bane of Morgoth Miniatures. If you were here with us last time, we started doing non-metallic copper bronze. And I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I finished out the rest of the piece for that particular step because it was about 2 straight hours of doing bronze. And here is kind of the final result of that. I do a quick little pan for you. Overall, pretty satisfied with it. There are some things that I'm not super happy about, but we are closing in on finishing up this boy. Today I wanted to focus in on a smaller element, and that's this gem here and that gem there. And I want to add color sparingly. I don't want to rainbow this model, so I want to make sure that it's a logical color. So he's functioning as kind of a cleric druid character in my D&D world. So the logical jump is we got green here, let's put it there. I've heard it said a few times, if there's a color somewhere on the model, it should be everywhere on a model. And I like that idea. It adds kind of a cohesion to the overall thing. I apologize for my voice, not in general, but just today, that I am a little bit under the weather and have been for a week. And it's been annoying. So if I cough a bit or have to take a little sneeze break, you know why. I'm not terribly infirmed anymore. It's just one of them lingering coughs. So starting off with gems, I want to make sure we do a kind of a clean base coat so we know where the gem is starting. We kind of, as we're working here, get to make a choice. Do we want the gem to glow, or is it simply just more like an emerald? Emeralds don't really glow. They have presence, but not necessarily a vibrant glow. A piece of me wants to also do his handkerchief, his neck scarf there, because when I did the kind of lower loin cloth banner thing going on he's got, we did run into forgetting that there's cloth up above, and I don't remember if that was a conscious choice then. It was a bad one if it was, or if I had just run out of time in the video, and then by the time I got next back to it, I had forgotten it existed. I think I aim for, what do you call it, realism here. I don't know if there's anything professional going on. There's just a whole lot of attempt and hope that it's enjoyable. I think we are going to do that. I think I'm going to switch off to a little bit bigger of a brush, and by a little bit I mean about 10 times bigger, and work in some of those greens. Gives my gems ample time to dry as well. It's a bit of a tricky one to get on camera because I am at a weird angle. I'm going for kind of a scratchy, stippling approach to this. Not aiming for perfect coverage. And it is going to be a little bit different of a green than below because our base color is going to be brighter as we moved upward in the model. Even our base layers should be a little brighter. Helps to naturally draw the eye while using the same color upward. It's just like in real life. Normally we want people looking at our faces. That is the preferred point of looking. I know there's many people that struggle with that, and maybe that's your your practice for the week, besides painting, just look people in the eye when you talk to them. Not the whole time and not too intensely, because that's, well, how you lose friends pretty quickly, or how you gain friends you don't want. So, yeah, look people in the eye, but do it in such a way that doesn't make them feel like a restraining order or calling the police, or that you might have someone hidden in your basement. Yeah, all the above. Now that those two are dry, I've realized that it is far too hot in my house, and this hoodie is doing me no service. So I'm gonna lose that. Oh, for the first time ever, if you know me, my house is normally the most frigid place on the planet. But today, it's not. It's actually a little balmy, if you will. That's not like balmy blazer, it's like balmy like the tropics. It's a crisp 62 right now, which when you're used to being outside in the cold, a crisp 15 degrees, it's actually kind of warm. All right, kind of just boosting up to the next level for this gem. Now gems have a lot of hard faces, hard, smooth faces. On the cloak up here, there's a lot of really soft transitions from one piece to the next. So I can make a lot of choices that aren't as impactful in the end, that aren't going to hurt me in the end, I should say. I could really just kind of layer in some colors where I think best, kind of following the color line that we have there. Upward and raised surfaces is a simple way of thinking about it. But for gems, you want to aim for, we'll call them quadrants. Aiming for the different quadrants having a different appeal to them. And I think we're going to see once I actually get there. Now that I've started on the cloak, you know, it's okay to have a little bit of ADHD brain as you're working across your model. Just make sure you realize what the material is and act properly in response to it. Because it's very quick to jump from a cloth to a gem, and then all of a sudden you're saying, whoa, gems have hard angles, cloths don't really. Clothes. So this top upward facing gem, I think, or there's a word for it. It's going to come to me. Facet. Facet's the word. This top upward facing facet of this gem, I think I want to hit strongly. And then I want to create a little bit of contrast. So I have this whole face done, the lower half of this face, and then half of this. And then I probably want to just dot in some coloration on this gem. You want to know something cool about your eyes? When you practice painting and you try effects like this, your eyes are going to let you know, hey, that looks like a gem. Or they might ask you a different question. That different question might be, have you ever seen a gem in your entire life? In which case, you know you're not on the right track, as opposed to that does look like a gem and you know you are on the right track. What I'm saying is, there is a level of experimentation that goes to painting anything. Have I painted gems before? Yeah. Have I painted a diamond-shaped gem on a hammer? No, I haven't. But I'm trying to get the right idea for it. And this is simply just more of a sketching step. I could do really crisp blends throughout the whole process, but oftentimes you're just sketching in where the reflection is happening. And then when I get further into this, I'm going to need to make sure that which I have sketched in is emboldened. And then all of those very nice lines, I'm going to have to crisp them up. I need to make sure that they are, evidently what they need to be. Now, like my last model, I am going to go into yellow, but this time it's not on my wife's desk, so I get to choose if I want to stay in this yellow or not, and I like it, so I'm going to. I've always liked greens that get almost all the way to yellow, and some of my finished lines that mark out the shape of this gem are going to be in the yellow family. I've always found that gives it more of a warm glow as opposed to, speaking of which, there's that model here. Getting into yellows a little bit, I'm going to get even brighter than the center gem on my tiger friend. Yes, I know, I did say that this was going to go on her desk, but so far she hasn't taken it, so here it is as a reference. Oh, look, diamond-shaped gems. Maybe I have done it and my memory is just old and not succeeding. So once I've found the color I want that to be, I'm going to really make sure I have a nice thinned paint and a sharp point on my brush. I'm going to just draw in those golden lines. And if I want to be a little cheeky, I can even trace the outside. Help me make a separation from the hammer to this gem. I don't mean to jinx it, but it seems as I look at the camera in front of me that it is not focusing on my bulbous hand, it is focusing on the actual piece, which is incredible work for me because I have not figured out exactly how cameras focus yet. And there's always something to be said about trying to do too much and it not coming to. Nice little glowy gem on his hammer there. Now, I must confess, our tiny elephant boy, he is somewhere around here, and he will need to be painted fully, but he is many steps behind, I think is the fairest way of saying him. As I kind of focused my effort in on this, he did lose some pace. But that is all right, because conveniently, somewhere, I don't know where, but somewhere in the world, there's a catalog of every step I've used to get this far. And I can, maybe by prayer and petition, find that catalog of information and come back and take care of it. One of the many reasons I enjoy this channel is because I get to catalog some of my skills. And in 6 months, when I've forgotten how to do this bronze armor, I'll come back and go, hey, Past Josh, ancient oracle of wisdom, can you enlighten me on what I used to know how to do, but now I'm too oafish to remember. And Past Josh won't respond because he's recording, but he will tell me the answer, whether he wants to or not, which is kind of weird, but exciting. Now, I think I've rambled enough, but I think we've also gotten some glowing gems on some bright armor. I think not much left to be done here. You know what? executive decision. When clerics cast magic, why wouldn't their eyes glow? Let's get some glow in those peepers there. It's really about creating that difference. And now I'm working in such a small area, I have to keep my hyperactive brain on a low setting and wait. Kind of like the wait from a tram car. And not immediately work over everything I've been doing. Because if I do that, I'm going to be quite peeved at myself. So what I can do is I could sit patiently, but since I have you, I don't get to sit patiently as much as I might. You know, flip on a YouTube channel, do a little dance, run to the bathroom. Instead, I'm going to fail at getting gray out of a tube for far too long on this video. And I'll go back and I'll do some touch-up work as some of my orange has spilled onto my trumpety boy's ears. We can come back. We can just clean up some spots. Now this is not a necessary step, but when you're aiming for the best you can, pivoting back and forth is an important step. I don't know if I'll go all the way to bright yellow on his eyes. Not out of laziness, but I don't know if yellow is where I want to go here. Maybe I can get away with a little bit of wet blend here. As I work quickly on this model. And I think we do need to see a dot of yellow to really pull us into a look at his glowing eyes. There we go. 15 minutes or so of work and bit of rambling across that, and now we see an almost finished product. I'm looking at the chest plate here. I don't want to get too crazy with it, but we got a lot of straps that need to get bronzed out. We've got some toe beans that need blacked out, some tusks that need colored as well. Still some stuff to do on our elephant boy. But for tonight, that's all, and it's been an exciting one. Sorry for the clap. Maybe that was loud. But as always, thank you so much for hanging out, and look forward to seeing you next time. All right, good night.